So this is a pretty clear video with a pretty clear focus. Captain and vice captain dominating India. See me. That's what it is on day one. India, when Yashasvi Jaiswal got up, England felt a sniff. Gargi joins me as usual on this particular broadcast. England felt a sniff. They had a beautiful delivery, Ben Stokes, and picked up Jaiswal. They thought, okay, another couple of wickets, maybe we can get this back. And that's when Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant took charge. A partnership, 130, 40 plus, India in 350 plus zone, match totally being controlled by them, captain and vice captain.
Take it all. We're completely they're steering the ship like a ship, like leader. And we know now, why Shubman Gill had been named the captain. Maybe the way he's taking the responsibility, not paying in your daycare plus not paying any rations. The way he's looking absolutely solid. His defense is looking so good. His strokes are looking so good. Those straight drives, those cover drives that he's playing, and those are going for boundaries, look absolutely phenomenal to watch. His batting has been so pleasing and such a treat to the eye. I think this is one of the best innings that we've seen from Shubman Gill. We've been talking about how Shubman Gill always gets that incredible start and then somehow lets it book it away, somehow loses focus, loses concentration. But this time around, Shubman Gill knows what's else to lose. Shubman Gill knows he's the captain. He knows we have lost 2 early wickets. We've lost a settled KL Rahul. We've lost a Sai Sudarshan. Now I need to steer the ship and I need to show why I went up to Gautam Gambhir and asked to be number 4 for Team India, where Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli had batted.
That's beautifully said. Beautifully said. Because Test match cricket is about respect. You respect conditions, the sport respects you back. And that's what happened with Gill. He came in, that first shot was nerves. He ran almost a suicidal one. Ollie Pope had 2.5 stuns to aim. It was an overthrow for 5. The captain got going. Thereafter, not a single blemish. The boundaries were sublime. The elegance and the grace always defines his batting. Pleasing to the eye. Beautiful, absolutely majestic innings from the captain. And by the way, now the record, the Indian record, highest score, captaincy on debut, is Shubman Gill beating Virat Kohli's 150 in Adelaide. He has set the tone, absolutely set the tone for series.
Debut as Test captain and he's set the standard high. He's raised the bar high for himself, and any other failures from here on will not be taken lightly because everyone will talk about that first innings of his. Is magical, absolutely magical. And I also want to point out how it's not just Shubman Gill who's focusing on his batting. He was building. He was handling Yashasvi Jaiswal as well. There were a few times when Yashasvi was making a lot of blunders when it comes to running wickets. He was just sitting from the crease and not hearing the call. And there was one moment where it was caught in his fight as well, where Yashasvi said, "मुझे बस जोर से नहीं बोलते ना, मुझे बहुत आदत है सब." So Shubman Gill, after that little conversation that the two had, it stabilized. Shubman Gill, those little blunders running between the wickets stabilized after that because Shubman Gill took charge of the bowling, and that sights of the seater. Rishabh Pant was trying the laugh around the paddle, saying that cheeky shot, Shubman Gill, and even when there was a bit of a misunderstanding, Gill darted down, Pant did not respond, he was ball watching, he had a conversation. And Gill was continuously, and you could see when he got that 100 and did that come on, you could see the intensity on his face. Every sinew, every muscle, every little, you could see that face, and that face was telling you 1,000 words. He wanted that, as she said, 28, 30, 35, getting out. This man wanted that 100 and wanted it badly for India. Because once you get to 400 in a first inning score at the Headingley Cricket Ground, England won the toss, mind you. You are dictating terms. Gill knows the importance of that. Gill knows how important it is to get to Pai Dhanko. In 2002, India got 628. The rest is this. The 11, he set it up, and also talk about Rishabh Pant.
vice captain, got a 50, much needed 50 kuri.
Rishabh Pant gave us a few heart attacks. Couldn't be the same without Rishabh Pant. Not trying at least a couple, at least a handful of audacious shots, those lap shots that he does, or calling over while cycling. That thankfully he did not lose his wicket. There was one close call, but then again, Rishabh Pant was lucky and he's handled it very, very well. I think at the start of his innings, he only tried to stop it. Side those shots were knowing once he was settled in, and at the beginning of his innings, I was talking at Kisha, I was talking to you, and I was telling you, Rishabh Pant stayed very since he was, taking a long stride, defending the ball, playing it well, playing the overs out, exactly what you need to make. And especially when Shoaib Bashir was ill, I think he was put on especially to get Rishabh Pant out. You know that he's going to try. They put it in exactly. It was a complete flaw and a spontaneity. Time by impatience. Try to he pass it out and try to do something different to release the pressure. We all know that that's how he releases the pressure, but he's been lucky. And also, he's been playing very well. So you have to give it word. You have to give Rishabh Pant credit. He put up eyes on his wickets. Now it's time to take it all to the next day.
100%, 100%. I mean, the point that she just made, that Rishabh Pant, you managed to get yourself in. You negotiated the difficult period. Yes, the ball is due. England will come with the new cherry in exactly about 3 hours from now. So you will have to negotiate that again. But you've got a solid defense, a point that Ravichandran Ashwin time and again makes. Saurabh Ganguly time and again makes. That you are not a slogger. You are a much better batter than that. And he got runs there. You got 100 in this country before. You have to feel to the seat along with your captain, maybe Gary. You make this out. He had, over the last couple of days, during India's 2 practice sessions, focused specifically on Shubman Gill, focused specifically on Rishabh Pant. He managed to document how they were getting themselves ready for this particular match. Shubman Gill, in fact, that beautiful story, he batted when you and I were watching. He batted for an hour and a half, and Rohan told us, Rohan was standing there. After about an hour of practice, he said, "Ab my ball." So he batted with the older ball because he knew that at number 4, he will come with the slightly oldish ball, about 20 overs old with 2 wickets down. But then, if he plays long, he might have to negotiate a new ball. And that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened as he ended the game. They took the new ball. Chris Forbes came in and he was negotiating it very, very well. At that point, he's completely settled in. He just has to make sure that he negates the swing or any type of movement or bounce that the pitch generates. But he's been using solid. And the other thing I want to talk about, it was by complete chance that I managed to capture this moment. Sunil Gavaskar, yeah. And I told him, and he says, "Who took this film?" No, listen to it. So they said, "Who took this?" Said, "Sir, Sunny bhai, Gargi took." The girl who was with you, ask her to say Roy. So that's Mr. Gavaskar. And then he says, "Show me the photo." He should have told me. I said, "Why?" He says, "I would have given her a better angle." So Sadi, tomorrow we will get you many more. But that's Sunil Gavaskar for you. Beautiful catcher celebrating Shubman Gill. We leave you with the way Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant, both of them trained for this particular test match. And we have seen how the training has paid dividends. 2 hours, Gargi and I back from the Headingley Cricket Ground, live from the beginning of day 2. Thank you very much, Hoot.